The Honeydew with Ryan Sickler.
Welcome back to the Honeydew, y'all. We're over here doing it in the Night Pants Studios. I am Ryan Sickler, RyanSickler.com, and Ryan Sickler on all your social media. Every week, I want to say thank you. I'm very grateful for what I do, and thank you guys. Please subscribe to this channel. It helps. I'm telling you, we get limited everything over here. My specials pulled out of that algorithm. I keep telling you guys, we talk about real stuff over here. YouTube isn't a fan of some of the words that are used on this show, but it's an important show, and we're going to keep doing it, all right? So make sure you subscribe. Check out the special. If you got to have more, check out the Patreon. It's called The Honeydew with Y'all. And it's the wild, I'm telling you, for $5, it's one of the best buys you're going to get on Patreon. The stories are insane. It's The Honeydew with Y'all. We just had a lady who was a victim of an attempted double murder / suicide. I guess it's a murder-suicide. She ducked. The husband shot, hit her in the carotid artery. Another bullet goes through her mouth, through her jaw, and out her neck. She is paralyzed, and she is alive, and she looks fantastic, and she is on there telling her story. Tons of stuff like that. It's $5 a month. I'm telling you, go check it out. And if you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, go check out The Crab Feast. It's a great library. It's 300 and some episodes, and it's got everybody you love on it. Bill Burr, Burt Kreischer, Tom Segura, Christina P. Everybody's on that thing, and it's evergreen. It's stories you could listen to forever. Today's guest has great episodes on The Crab Feast. Come catch me on tour. We just added some more dates, and we're adding more. July 7th and 8th is Appleton, Wisconsin. August 18th and 19th, I'm going to be in Tampa, Florida. That's the first time I've done stand-up in Florida since I went with Segura years and years ago. Springfield, Missouri, September 1st and 2nd. Coming to you, Springfield. Tulsa. We're back on the books, Tulsa. They're open now, September 15th and the 16th. And we're adding more and more for the rest of the year and all of next year. Go get your tickets at RyanSickler.com. Now, that's the biz. You know what we're doing over here. We're highlighting the lowlights with y'all. And these are the stories behind the storytellers. I'm very excited to have this guest back on the Honeydew, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Sam Tripoli. Welcome back to the Honeydew, Sam Tripoli.
It's good to be here. I love you, brother.
I love you, and that's a great hoodie.
Thank you.
That's a great hoodie, dude.
All my heroes are shadow banned. Go tinfoilhead, t-shirts.com.
Well, before we get into what I wanted to start talking to you about
I can't
today,
believe you haven't been to Florida in forever. It's the best for comedy, bro. It's the best state for...
I'm going to be doing Miami at some point down there.
Miami's a great scene now.
We're going to do Miami.
It used to be garbage. Now it's the best. And then you just go down and you hang out on South Beach, and it's like Grand Theft Auto, dog. You may not sell a ticket down there because who wants to go watch a 50-year-old tell jokes when you can go watch Grand Theft Auto, dog?
Yeah,
and you just sit there and watch pretty people.
All right.
That's Miami, dude. It's the Latin San Diego. San Diego is the white Miami. That's where I'm going right now. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like have fun. And Florida's the best. Tampa.
All right.
So you got LA. LA's LA. And then Vegas is blue collar LA. And then Tampa is scumbag Vegas.
Can't wait to see you, Tampa.
It's the best. It's the best. I'd move there.
Well, before we get into everything, plug and promote everything, please.
Thank you, dude. I go to samtripoli.com for everything Sam Tripoli, all my videos, all my podcasts. If you love storytelling, I got a podcast called Broken Simulation where I just basically talk about my week. And it started during COVID. And like all the comedy clubs shut down. So I started a podcast where I could work bits. Mm-hmm. And then it just became a wonderful podcast. And like I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard during COVID and just watching people go nuts. So it's called Broken Simulation. It's about 2 hours every week. I just talk about my life. And then, you know, I have tinfoil hat I'm famous for. And then my show with Brian Callen's called Conspiracy Social Club. And it's people love it. So go check out samtripoli.com. You'll find it all.
Well, I've known you since the 1900s, bro. The
Dude,
late
long
90s.
Time, dog.
Yep. And still to this day,
Still
I
banging.
always say it. The wheelchair, the dead leg stripper in the wheelchair is one of the absolute best physical act outs I've ever seen, man. I used to look around by myself and look at other people like, his legs look dead. They're dead. They're the fucking. It was so good, dude. I was like, his legs are dead, dude.
Dude, I wrote that bit when I was about 23 years old, man. I'm 50, dude.
You can't do that.
That bit is
just
old enough to have
pulling yourself
kids.
up on a pole, bust your
They're
back
like,
all up.
dude, strip in a wheelchair. I'm like, if I go down, I don't come back up.
You'll be in a wheelchair.
You're going to help me, bro. For sure, dude. That's a young man's bit.
That is a young man's bit.
For sure, dude.
That's a young man. Because you would flail. You would hit the ground hard.
Now, what I am thinking about doing is after I do this next special I'm about to shoot called Weirdo.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about doing a greatest hits and going back through all of my stuff and just putting together my favorite bits into one special, and then I'm gonna do some stuff with that. But so
old stuff you have recorded,
all the stuff, because there's some jokes.
I trashed all of mine.
Well,
I took all my old videotapes, all my old everything, and I took it to a place in by the airport where they destroy it.
Why?
And you can watch it on camera. I took my daughter. I was like, let's go watch, because I know what it is. It's all stuff where I worked on. I ended up releasing it in what I felt was its best version, my albums, my specials. So after that, gone. Purge it, get rid of that shit.
But I have some albums that probably not a lot of people have listened to.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not talking about an album. I'm talking about sets. You know what I mean? Where I'm working on.
That's get rid
gone.
of that.
Yeah, that's all gone.
Yeah, these kids don't understand. They got phones. No. We got cassettes, bro. They're thick like a book.
Y'all got a VHS-C? The compact.
100%. I was so dumb. So I did a sketch comedy show with Duncan Trussell, Brian Jarvis, Jason Tebow, and myself. It was called The Stupid Dummies. Mm-hmm. And I was such an idiot. We filmed it, and it was very advanced. It was one of the first ones to do kind of hipster comedy at the time. It was very weird, unrelatable, but super funny. And we recorded on a tape. MTV's like, hey, we'd like to hear it. We'd like to see the stuff. I sent them the tape. I didn't make any copies of it. I sent them. I was
the only one?
The only one.
Oh, no.
And I never saw it.
Of course not.
God, it's somewhere in MTV right now. Or it's trash.
Yeah.
Like an idiot. I had to make copies. I never did it.
Yeah, because you had to have two of those machines to do that or take it somewhere to do that.
And each copy was $5. Yeah. It was $4. These kids have it so easy now.
So, speaking of kids, this is what I wanted to talk about. You're a single dad of twins.
Twin girls.
2
baby girls, 3 years old.
I'm a single dad of a girl, but my father was a single dad of twins also. We had my younger brother as well, so 3 total. But I want to talk to you about what that's like, because especially in a city like Los Angeles, it's not cheap to live here. You've got 2 mouths to feed. You got double everything, diapers, all of it.
Yeah.
So what was it like when you first heard you were having a baby, and did you find out it was twins? How fast?
I found out it was twins when we went to get the sonogram.
Okay.
And
you know what's funny? I don't mean to interrupt, but I never once even I'm a twin. When we went in, I never even considered twins. When the lady said, "Oh, I only hear 1 heartbeat," my heart dropped. I was like, "Oh, I didn't even think about there could have been 2 or 3 or something in there." So obviously at the time you guys are pregnant, you go in for a sonogram.
And I don't know there's 2 kids. I wasn't told there was 2 kids. I just knew that somebody was pregnant, okay? Somebody's pregnant.
Did somebody know there were 2 in there already?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
But I remember going in, and then they're doing the sonogram, and they're like, there's A and there's B. And I go, there's a B, dude. I'm like, oh my God. I'm going to be dad to 2. Oh my God. I can't explain this. 0 to 100 miles an hour. That's what it is.
And in my mind, I had the exact opposite effect. I was like, whoo, I'm only going to be a dad to 1.
I don't even understand it, because I just did a show in Baton Rouge, and a woman who's a fan of mine, she had triplets. I have no clue what that means. So my opinion is, for every 1 child, you need an extra adult. So if you have 1 kid, you need 2 adults. If you have 2 kids, you need 3 adults. And if you have triplets, you need a village to raise these kids.
Extended family, friends, all of it.
Did you ever wait tables?
Yeah.
Okay.
I waited tables and bust.
So let me tell you what it's like to have twins. It's basically your section is slammed 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
That's what
and
it is.
You're cleaning your own.
Everything,
busting
bro.
your own shit.
Everything, dude. So what was really crazy is like we lived in the Valley at that time, in Valley Village. And she wanted to give birth at Cedar Sinai in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. That's
So
where
I'm like,
where I almost died.
I'm like, what if we're way over here and the water breaks and we got to get way over there? And I'm like, I have to be Jack Bauer from 24 and I got to get across LA in
And
like
it better
30
not
minutes.
happen during rush hour. Or,
What are we doing
It better
here?
happen at 3 a.m. Yeah.
So I'm always I was a crazy person back then. You know, I'm sober now. I got like tomorrow will be 2 years and 6
congrats.
months, right?
All right.
But I was a crazy person, and I admit I was pissing the mom off by being an idiot. You know, there was a lot of pressure going on, right? So my whole fear is that I'm gonna have to drive this woman with her water breaks across LA to get there in time, so I don't have to bring these kids into the world. 'Cause I have no clue what I'm doing, right? So we go to, you know how they have that class where you have to, where they teach you how to take care of newborns. Did you go to that?
Yeah.
Well, we go to that.
At the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did
and
one at the
she's
hospital.
we're at Cedar Sinai. She's pissed at me because I'm being an idiot, right? She's already pissed at me. She's like, "Can I see you outside?" I go, "Oh man, she's gonna lay into me right here at the hospital." So she goes outside. She goes, "I think my water broke." I'm like, "What?" I just got so excited. I go, "What?" Yeah, we're already here, dude. I was so excited. We were already in the hospital. Perfect. She goes into labor right there, dude.
Wow.
Yep. So we were already at the hospital. I'm like, zippity doo dah.
Yeah,
So
like
I
this is
was
starting off good.
This is the best case scenario for me, right? So she's in the hospital. She's giving birth. And I got really lucky, dude, because they were still allowing fathers in the birth room.
Okay.
They were still allowing them in because right after this, COVID hits.
Oh, it's right after.
And
okay.
dads can't be in the delivery room. So I get really
Oh,
lucky.
is that right?
Yeah, dude. There was a ton of moms giving birth to kids with no...
But also a ton of dads that don't get to even be in that room because of COVID and see their kid born.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it was going down like that.
It was crazy, right? It was crazy. So it's coming, and like she gets in there pretty quick, and we walk in, and just like when you're in the delivery room, there's a million people in that room. And then you start going, am I paying for everybody here?
Yeah.
Why are there 50 nurses and 10 doctors? Can we cut
Why
this in
all
half?
punching cards every time you come in this room? Too?
Am I paying for everybody here? Am I paying for everybody here? So she's giving birth. She's doing a great job. It's taking a while. And the nurse goes, yeah, it's taking a long time. It's pretty tight. And I go, exactly, bro, right? Because it's like, that's why I'm here. I'm trying to high five everybody. Yeah, that's why we're here, dude. Tight as hell, bro. Tight as hell. She's like, stop making jokes, bro. So her biggest fear was that with twins, she was going to have to give canal birth, and then they were going to have to do the cut open too, the C-section. And then as sure as shit, so they're like, the first baby comes, and it's so funny about having kids is that my daughters are their exact personalities that they are right now when they came out. The first baby comes out. They're like, the first one's coming, and she just hits the hole like...
Look at her tucking and running. Right.
Like Earl Campbell just high stepping right out of the hole, bro. Boom, just hits it. You see, it's like Bo Jackson when he hits.
Yeah.
Bang, dude.
Put that head down.
Yeah, linebackers are flying everywhere. Bang, she's like, I'm here. Bam, she came out real early.
Dude.
And that is her personality. And we'll get into all that. So the second baby's like, I paid rent for the whole month. I'm staying.
Got it.
So she jackknifes in the back. She like pushes back. It's like in jujitsu shrimp roll. Like just pushes back. Dude, everybody in that room surrounds her like she just robbed a bank and they got her cornered. And they're like, you better come out now. We got you surrounded. And she's like, I ain't coming out anywhere, right? So literally like 5 Asian doctors have their hands up there trying to pull this kid out. Well, while I'm meeting my other daughter, who is like not crying, not just hanging out over here, they're trying to get the baby out. They get the baby out. I look, oh my God, it's my baby. I look back down. And I'm looking at my baby. I go back out and they got the baby's mama and they're like, where does this piece go? Where it was like Build-A-Bear, right? They had to put it back together again.
Oh.
The worst, bro. And she took it like a champ, man.
Women, I'm telling you, I know there's no doubt. If you've been in the room, way stronger. Way stronger.
Well, I could never have done that. Wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up.
Yep.
So we have 2 kids, man, and it's crazy. And you
how long do they let you stay in the hospital with twins? We were pretty much in and out of there.
No, we were in and out.
You get like one overnight, and then you're out.
We were out. They put them under the lights to make sure everything was okay, and we were out.
You know what I didn't even think about too is when they came in, they said, "Would you and Dad like a rest? We can take the baby. We'll give her a bath, put her under some light." Well, we were like, "Yeah." And then, like, a friend of ours was like, you let them take the baby, you get the wrong one back and stuff. I was like, what? They started scaring you and shit like that. I'm like, I didn't even think of that. I would just let them take the baby. But these are the people you should let take the baby.
Right,
you know
right.
I mean?
And my kids, the first baby looks exactly like her mother. It's the same face. And the second one looks exactly like my mom. So we got the right kids. And it's so funny because she got so mad at me because she's going into labor and I'm like sleeping on the side. I love that they're like, we're going to give you and the dad a little break. Like you were just,
I did anything.
Just did
I
some
just
work.
took scissors and cut umbilical cord and held a leg.
Work?
Yeah, it's all.
Did you do anything with the blood that they like, oh, we'll take the blood?
I'll tell you what I saw. I've talked about this on my album where I legit, I didn't think I was partaking. I was told I was going to be behind her head with the blanket up where I couldn't see anything. I'm seeing what she sees. And they were like, nope, get around here. And they wanted me to hold her leg, and I had to hold her leg. And then I'm seeing it all go down. And it didn't hit me like it did on TV. When it's yours, it wasn't gross. Now you're just in that adrenaline mode of, I want everything to be okay. Yeah. Is she breathing or all her fingers and toe? You know what I mean? Is everything happening right here? Because I don't know if that's happening right. And she comes out and they tell me to cut the umbilical cord. Well, my daughter, I guess she pooped in her mom's womb, and it's called meconium, I think it is. So they said, we need you to cut that cord immediately because she can't cry. If she cries, she could ingest the poop in her lungs, and that's a big deal. So I'm over there trying to, I'm trying to get that cord. I thought I was going to get like some real medical grade shit. I say it. They brought me junk drawer scissors.
Bro. You're like, give me better scissors.
I'm like, get her over there. Hurry up.
Give me a machete.
I'm like, are these lefties? Are these lefties? And I fucking gave her over, and then they like just basically vacuumed her out real quick, and boom, she was good to go. But that was a little bit. And then I turned back around. Now, I didn't know about the placenta until sex ed in high school. And I'm not even joking when I tell you, we watched a woman give birth, and then the afterbirth comes out, and everyone's in class. We're like, what is that? And they're laughing like, that's the afterbirth, that's the placenta, whatever. And we have lunch next. I'm not joking. We got lunch next. I've never forgot it. Back in the day before phones, I used to read on the toilet all the time. That's how I learned they would put placenta in shampoo. Like if there was nothing to read, young kids, you'd read the back of toothpaste, anything. And I learned that they put placenta because of the protein, I guess, and everything in some shampoos. So I'm waiting to see that. I'm waiting to see it. I know it's coming now.
You're waiting for them to scoop it into shampoos?
Yeah, I've been trying to get
Johnson
to make me a deal right there. I'm like, listen, we'll sell.
Herbal Essence, like, dude, we'll give you top dollar. That's when they're doing this in the commercials. They're just placentas flying up all over the place.
And I'm holding my daughter and looking at her, and I'm just looking back. I'm waiting to see. I want to see them deliver this placenta, make sure everything's okay. And right before they do, this gush of I don't know what fluid hits this nurse in the chest like, "Gah!" And she just takes one, rocks back. She looks at the other nurse with this look, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then I start to see them pull it out. I was like, "I don't need to look anymore."
You
Man,
looked?
what the fuck was that?
I never wanted to see what was happening.
I looked.
there.
Hell yeah, I looked. And I'm telling you, this thing looked like somebody was in there, like, "Gah!" Just shot her in the chest, like knocked her back, and she looked at the nurse like she hadn't seen it before. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Like some Saw shit.
Yeah.
Like just blood, just
all kinds of like afterbirth fluid and just poof.
I never wanted to look at the hole. I'm like kind of doing it over the top. I wanted to see my baby's first breath, and then that's it. I didn't want to see what happened to the city.
And then
because your ladies bit parts go from like San Diego to San Francisco real quick, right? It's condemned.
The whole ride.
Used to be pristine real estate. Now it needs some serious work. Yeah, dude.
All right, so now you go home.
We get home
as a dad to two girls.
It's crazy. So what's really funny is like your family starts calling you because you're a girl dad. They start giving you advice. And I talk about this in my act. They start giving you advice on how to take care of girls. And my cousin Lisa's like, "Do you know how you wipe girl butt?" And I go, "No, how do you wipe girl butt?" She goes, "You go vagina back." And then I go, "Lisa, how do you think men wipe their asses?" Do you think we're going asshole to nuts? Is that what you think?
Shit onto my nutsack,
like
back
reaching
of my nuts.
under there and pulling up? Like, what do you think we're doing?
I bet you some dudes do. I bet you that's why women are like, "That guy's balls stink." I bet you there are dudes that fucking wipe back to front and get like
there's dudes who
all
don't
over the
wash
back
their
of their
junk.
nuts. True.
That's the first thing I watch. And then I shampoo my asshole.
Yeah.
That's how I do. I get in there.
Yeah.
But I've also been getting my shit shaved down, dude. It's the best shit you'll ever take in your life. When you get your beehole shaved down.
When you get waxed and you fart and you're like,
it's
the anal hairs help break the fart up. They do. You don't realize that.
You're totally right. Then you got this bubble just going up your crack. Like a
how effective anal hairs actually are.
They're your friends. It's another lie.
It's a lie.
It's the big waxing complex that's convincing you to wax your beehole.
Oh yeah, your farts are different, man. When
your
you don't have anal hair,
farts just bubble up and just ride up your crack,
they
and then
sure
it goes.
They
and
do.
It feels really uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's different. It is, man.
So you get your kids home,
shit.
and the biggest, craziest thing is that they never tell you about burping. Like people go, "What is the most traumatic part?" And it's burping. Burping to me was
really why?
Because they're so tiny, and you don't know if they burped or not. So you're just sitting there like hitting this kid. At some point, it's like, was that a burp? Was that not a burp? Am I just beating the shit out of this kid right now? This kid's back. Because you could burp forever. It could take forever. That to me was the most traumatizing thing. Was that it was burping, and like the one thing that was really cool about the whole COVID thing, if there was anything cool, is like it forced me to be home with my kids, which was a real great experience. Instead of having to go out and work all the time, I could work from home and be with my kids, and we got to spend a lot of time together. So, so I get us a house, and like I remember growing up in my house that I grew up in Cortland, New York, and we had one bathroom. And my dad had this amazing ability to know right when I wanted to take a shower. And he would just walk in there and just napalm the entire bathroom. I mean, just drop dirty bombs. Paint would peel and all that shit, right? And then I would have to go in and shower in my dad's shit fest, right? But I was like, no, this isn't going to happen. So I was able to find a house with 2 bedrooms. So we moved them in. It's really great. They got a kid's bedroom. And it's amazing to like raise these kids. But, then they start getting a little older, and then they become, they're toddlers, or I call them Antifa, right?
Yeah.
Because they're domestic terrorists. Yeah. All they want to do is burn down your entire, they just want to destroy the patriarchy. That's all they want to do. And like they would know when their mom was leaving, because the mom would be like, "Can I just get a nap?" I'm like, "Yeah, go get a nap, take a nap." And then as soon as their mom left, they would just look at me with this like devilish look in their eye, grab something, throw it down, smash it, running around. They like spray painted BLM on my refrigerator.
for a second. I was like, wait.
Shit's burning. Part of the house is burning. Like, fuck the patriarchy. Yeah, so it was like kind of crazy, man, to have kids. And like, it just changed me. I just became a different person, you know? It's like I quit doing drugs.
In what ways? Yeah, tell me. I wanted a girl because I knew it would calm me down.
Well,
it gave me a different point of view on things where I knew it would just soften me in a way that I knew I needed, and I didn't think anything else was going to do it.
It got me sober, dude.
You know?
Like, I really got sober because there was a couple times where I, you know, couldn't take the pressure, and I went out, and I felt so low. And I remember just making a decision one day going, these kids didn't pick this. They didn't ask for this. And, you know, I have a goal in my life with my kids. I don't know if it's possible. I just don't want to be the reason they're in therapy. That's my only goal in life, is like, I just want to surround them with love, encourage them to be the best, be the right kind of discipline where it's they know I'm doing it out of love, and just try to get them to 18 where they don't go, my dad was a dick and he didn't love me and he didn't do anything. That's my whole goal in life. And I felt like if I continued down this path, I was going to be the reason they were in therapy. And so I got sober, and I remember calling a friend of mine one day, and I just gone out, and he was like, okay, Sam, you know, you keep doing this. You're trying to do sobriety. You're trying to build Rome in a day. You got to take it in 24-hour increments. And that's kind of when I work with people in recovery. That's why I say, it's like, don't do this. Don't try to do everything in a day. It's only about 24 hours. So it gave me this little prayer that I would say when I would really start getting like itchy, right? Where I really wanted whenever I wanted to do drugs, my body would start to like kind of vibrate and start to hum. And I knew like, oh man, I want to go out. And he gave me this little prayer that just was like, and I tell this to newcomers all the time. It's about like, you know, it's ask God, like, God, I don't want to use today. Maybe tomorrow I'll use, but not today. Just give me 24 hours, and tomorrow if I use, we'll deal with it then. And then I started saying that, and I started putting together these days, and I got to like that, you know, it's like sobriety's like poker. The more days you get, the more chips you got, the less like you're going to go in a bad hand. So I start to raise these kids, and we start to, I love them. And then we're coming up with names, right, for the kids. We had it before they were born, and we're having a real debate on like what the name's going to be. And I do joke about this, how there's rules. Like the first rule is you cannot name your daughters. Like boys are easy to name. It's like it's after the dad, the grandpa, your favorite black athlete, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It was a boy. It was Bo Jackson or Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
I'm dying on that hill, right? But girls are different. There's rules. And rule number 1 is you cannot name your daughters after any woman the mother doesn't like. And that is every woman she's ever met in her life.
Yeah.
Every woman. Sarah, bitch, right? Tina, cunt, right? It's like, you can't do it. And then guys, you cannot name your daughters after any adult film star you've jerked off to. Those names are off the list too. All the Russian names are gone.
All the Russian names.
Okay, so we willed it down. My daughter's names are Ghost and Ninja Tripoli.
That's legit.
That's their middle names.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's what, yeah.
But that's what they go by.
Ghost and Ninja.
All right.
Yeah.
Ghost and Ninja.
Because Japanese anime is still on the...
And your daughter's mom is okay with that?
No, she calls them by the real name.
You said no so fast. Is she okay with you calling them that, though?
Yeah, she's okay with it. I know right now everyone thinks it's weird, but I know when they get older, they're going to love those names. And their names fit them very much. They're two different styles of people.
What do your families think of the names?
They're fine with it. They think it's funny. They send me shirts with their names on it, and they love it. And it's a blessing. And it's so crazy as you watch. You bring home literally a meat wad. That's what you're bringing home is just a bundle of meat. That's all it is. And then you start to slowly watch this. The most amazing part, the first 6 months is just crazy, especially with twins. It's go time all the time. And the mom's dealing with everything's going on with her body. The mom did a great job. She had to deal with me too. So she probably had to deal with 3 crazy kids, but she did a great job. And you just start to watch them download new operating systems
Mm-hmm.
as they go. You watch them start clocking your fingers. It's like such an amazing thing. And it's a love that you can't understand until you have kids.
Agreed.
You will never understand this love.
Nope.
If let's say you have a puppy and you love this puppy so much, the minute you have a kid, that puppy's number 2. And there's nothing that puppy can do to compete with the love of the child. It's just something you'll never understand. And it's just changed my life. And it makes me want to be a better person, and represent them the best I can. Based on my internet, I don't know how I'm doing with that. I'm sure they're going to go back and watch some of it.
Oh, they're going to go back and watch. I think about that too. Like my daughter's going to go back and hear every drug story I've ever told, every police story. You know what I mean? Everything, sneaking out of the house, all of it. There's no way I'm going to be able to be any kind of person other than honest and fair. I like fair but firm. But she's going to be able to be like, well, you said you drank. I'm like, just stop listening to the fucking HoneyDew and the crappies. All right, goddamn.
Yeah. And it's so funny because like my mom always gives me advice on how to raise kids and I appreciate it. But I'm like, you could also beat us if you wanted to. That was on the table to smack us around. And when you're growing up, you think you're just going to beat your kids. You're like, you see people acting up at the airport. You'll be like, oh, dude, you see a kid acting up with some parent. You're like, should I go over there and help that parent?
Help the parent.
And smack the fuck out of that kid, man?
I got it.
I got it. You're welcome. Whap! My work here is done. Hitchhike out of town.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Right? But when you're older, you can't do it. And you have your own kids, you can't do it.
I'm looking forward to this summer. I'll be hanging out with the kids. The Live and Alive tour is off and running. We got some dates coming up all throughout the summer. And when you're on the go like I'll be, nothing is more important than being comfortable, staying cool, and looking good while you do it, which is exactly why I love and wear my Duer pants for any occasion. So Duer sent me a pair of pants and a shirt. All right. I've worn both. I love them. They're like soft chinos. Man, if you see me on stage at the Comedy Store, black pants, that's the Duers. I'll be honest. And they gave me a T-shirt that I was like, I don't know at first because I'm just worried that those T-shirts, they don't always look flattering on this body. You know what I mean? Money, Duer. Duer's stretch performance denim and lifestyle apparel is made for the doers. They combine comfort with style and quality for all we do in a day and make it designed to last. The technical fabric is breathable, lightweight, and durable. And not only does Duer look great, but we can feel good about supporting the brand. Their clothing is made from sustainable materials like wood chips, plants, and recycled plastic bottles. Get your own pair of Duer pants to stay cool and comfortable this summer. Check out Duer's flagship stores in LA and Denver, or shop online at shopduer.com. My listeners will get 15% off site-wide using my special promo code HoneyDew. For 15% off your order, go now to shopduer.com and use my special promo code HoneyDew. Shopduer.com, promo code HoneyDew. Now, let's get back to the do.
And so my dad used to do something called a wink and a nod. Have I talked about this? I don't remember if I talked about it, but my dad had something called a wink and a nod where he would never hit us. If my brother acted up, he'd give me a wink and a nod, and then I got to beat the crap out of my brother.
Bro, I told my stepson that if he had a little brother and the brother was bugging the shit out of me, I would do exactly that. Just give him the nod. He could go fuck him up.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, Derek, come on, man. I'd do that. And I'm like, thank you. I told him we'd have that agreement. And then when he found out he was having a sister, he got bummed out. I go, don't worry. We're gonna do that to every boyfriend.
Yeah, for sure.
I will give you the moon, motherfucker. Yeah, like, yeah, take care of his asshole. Yeah. Yeah.
So the kids were shut down forever during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't able to socialize. So when things started opening up, I used to really love to take them I love taking my kids to the kids park.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because, like whenever you hear people talk about like, people are basically good. I'm like, you've never been to the kids park. Because if you go to the kids park, you realize it's Lord of the Flies very quickly.
Yeah.
Like if there were no adults there, they would be sacrificing the autistic kid. Trust me on that one, right? They would just be to Moloch, you know what I'm saying? So I get there and I love hanging out with the kids. And it's very funny because like my one daughter, she's 3, but she runs with 6-year-olds. which is both cool and scary at the same time, right? And so like I'll be hanging out with my one daughter, pushing her on the Ninja. I'll be pushing Ninja on the swing, and Ghost will be running around, and she runs with older kids. And one day I'm just watching, these kids are like way older, way bigger. I'm like, I don't know about this. I'm going to keep an eye on it. Of course I don't. I'm pushing my kids. So I look up and these two Pakistani girls have my kid in the air like they're about to sacrifice her to some pagan god, right? Like, throw her down the thing. And now I suddenly understood every single Liam Neeson movie I've ever watched in my fucking life.
Yeah.
Every movie I've ever watched in my life. I got this protector and I'm like, no! I start screaming right in the middle of the thing and I run up and they set her down. And I'm like, are you okay, Munchkin? And suddenly I hear one of them going, are you okay, Munchkin? And then I just go into heckle kill mode and I just start lighting these kids up. Suddenly I hear this really this guy yelling, and I look over and this tweaker is walking right next to
the kids,
right next to the fence by the playground, and he's tweaking hard, and he's like, and I'm like, oh fuck! I look over, all the moms are looking at me. They're like, you gotta go deal with it. I go, what happened to feminism, man? You want that 30 cents on the dollar? Go deal with this shit. I got the kids. I got it. You go take care of that.
I got the kids. Yeah.
So I start to I start to walk up, and I start hearing what he's saying. And what the funniest part is that my kid is just staring at the guy tweaking and going, hey, my daddy does that shit, right? Like, my daddy looks fucking weird. And I go, okay, we don't need to say that loud, all right? So I'm watching it. I start hearing what he's saying. He starts talking about the Federal Reserve and how everything is based off fractional reserve banking and how that's the root of all evil. And now I got a real problem because I can't shut him down because he's talking about the truth, right? So now... And now,
you're over there leaning on the fence.
He's right. I can't.
He's fine.
He gets it. What am I, Facebook? Am I YouTube? Am I gonna censor this guy? So I come up with an idea. I pull out a $20 bill of my money. I go, hey man, you're scaring everybody but my kid. Okay,
but my kid.
This is my kid's first rodeo, okay? I go, hey, if I give you this money, will you go away? He goes, what? I go, I'll give you $20. Just go away. He grabs and run off. I go, you fucking shill. That's fucking Federal Reserve money right there, you fucking liar, right? So then he runs off and he's still walking around. And then mom's like, hey, I'm going to go my car. Can you watch me? Like, I'm supposed to do something. So she walks to his car. She walks to her car, and I see him eyeing her and start to walk up, and then he looks at me, and I just give him the fucking...
You just point at him?
Point at him. Not today, brother. And he walked away, and I saved the day, and I was a superhero of that fucking day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes, bro. That's how it is to be a dad. I just end up protecting my kids. And
what scares you the most?
What scares me the most? That they'll be their dad. And they'll go out and do stupid shit. I look at I'm losing so many friends to like fentanyl, bro. I'm so blessed I got out when I did.
Yeah.
And it's like super sad. And I just don't want them to go through do all the stupid stuff. Because if I was running gutting now, I probably wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't.
And I've lost multiple friends in a week, bro. In a week from that stuff. That really scares me. And I just...
I've already had to talk with my daughter about it. She was 7 when we started talking about fentanyl because a friend of ours' daughter died from it. And when he visited, he's crying, I'm crying. She's like, what happened? And I was like, you know what? I'm going to tell you. It's on the back of buses now. And it should be. It's so different than it was. I know it makes you sound like, oh, our generation, but this is different. They're poisoning everything out there right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And it's just super dangerous. And the only reason I like to do coke because just women like to get weird on it. So it's like, let's do it. But like, what's the point of that if you're going to die? you're gonna die. It's so funny. I was at a comedy club one time. It was like during one of the holidays, and it was a big show. And I'm in the back, and this chick just starts cutting up coke.
What?
Right there in front of everybody. I go, this is how long I haven't done drugs. I'm like, what is happening?
So violated back there. Like, I can't even.
What is going on? What is that? I go, are you going to do coke? She's like, yeah. I go, and then I felt like
defiant about it too. Yeah.
I was like, what is this, Fear Factor, bro? Are you going to do Fear Factor and see if you die from this stuff? And go, aren't you worried about drugs? I mean, aren't you worried about fentanyl? And she's like, well, I got a bad bitch for a deal. I'm like, your bad bitch going to give you a bad batch.
Man, everyone says the same thing. No, I got the guy at it. I'm like, okay, I bet you all those people thought they had the guy.
Yeah. I'm so happy I'm out of it, man. I remember back in the day, I once saw Doug Stanhope at the Comedy Store. He's doing a show, and I love Doug Stanhope. He like, for as crazy as he is on stage and all crazy stuff, he's the nicest dude you'll ever meet off stage. He's so lovable. And like he kicked off the Las Vegas comedy scene. So he kind of started it. And then I got in there, and then I built it up, and now it's like a really great scene. So I know Doug from Vegas. And I remember going backstage with him at the Comedy Store. And dude, he did a line so long. I mean, dude, when I say it's this long, I'm not lying to you. I'm like, how did...
That's crazy.
And I was a drug addict at that time.
That's crazy.
I'm like, how are you talking on stage?
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. So yeah, man, having kids are great. I take them to a lot of these kids parks. And do you ever go indoor kids park with your kids?
Yeah, I've been there.
Well, the Armenians got that shit locked down in the valley. It's all Armos.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, my people, they run everything, dude. So I went to this one, the Kids Empire, and dude, one day, Serena Williams comes in. And she's her, and she has like 3 handlers per each kid. So she's got a whole village with her with these kids. And I'm telling you, bro, that is the first time I've ever seen a Viking in my life. Dude, she is a fucking Viking, bro. She's got the biggest peach I've ever seen on a human being in my life.
That tennis butt.
That tennis butt is the most amazing thing. You're like, that is some like 7 most amazing things in the world. It was so big. And I just thought, like, even if I could hook up with her, I couldn't even get close enough for her to feel anything. Even if I took a shot at it, there would be nothing I'd be like, can you feel it?
You can't do anything.
Even if she gave me a shot at it.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, wait. I want to, there's a couple other things I want to talk about. Because I do want to switch it up a little bit. I wanted to, what's this, so you said something happened with Machine Gun Kelly at the Comedy Store.
Okay.
I want to hear this story. Because this was, I saw pictures of him at the store, and so I know it wasn't that long ago.
No, it was only a couple months ago.
Was it at your show?
Yeah.
Okay, so he showed up to see who?
Whitney Cummings.
Okay, so he showed up.
So he's a big fan of Whitney's, and he decided to show up and come to the show.
Did you know he was coming?
No.
No heads up even right as the show started?
No.
Okay.
I think somebody said, oh, hey, Machine Gun Kelly's in the back.
Okay.
Right?
He's at the booth where they all sit.
No, he's in the back smoking weed with everybody in that back area.
Gotcha.
Right? So he's smoking weed, and he comes in, and I just have this bit about when I was in Vegas and how the bit's basically about how on Fremont Street security was tight for Jelly Roll.
Mm-hmm.
And the joke is basically where Fremont Street wanted to make sure that the terrorists don't get to our Wiggers, because there's a giant underground battle between Wiggers and Al Qaeda. It's like Viking. It's like underworld, lichens versus vampires, right? So I have this joke where I talk about Wiggers and how like Wiggers are the original trans, like they're the first ones to transition and have their parents freak out and do all this stuff. So I'm doing a Wigger joke on stage, right? And I get done. It's a weird bit because it crushes, right? So I get done. I get him back, and I'm talking to Trevor Wallace, who I love. I love everything Trevor Wallace. I love this new breed of comics. All these
He's
guys
great.
coming
He's
up.
been on.
Matt Rife, Trevor Wallace. I love all those guys. They're doing great work. They're taking big swings. So I'm sitting in the back talking to him, and here comes Machine Gun Kelly.
In the green room?
No, I'm behind where the curtains are, right? Mm-hmm. So he walks to the back, and he just gets him. He's right here. And I'm like, hey, dude, how's it going, man? He goes, oh, man, you got some funny jokes, dude. And I go, okay, this is weird energy, but okay, cool. Okay, hey, what's up? He goes, yeah, you got some weird jokes. You talk a lot of shit. And I go, yeah, I do talk a lot of shit. And I go, oh, is he just trying to be funny with the comedians? Is that what he's doing?
But also, what are you doing rolling up and just walking backstage at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Because you're you in your world? You
in your world. Which this is not.
That's
this
right.
is not in
That's
any
right.
way.
That's like us walking into the dugout right now and going, hey, fuck's up with that, man? And I'm down in the dugout. Like, you're not on the team.
Man, you're going down to the Dodgers going,
yeah.
Man, you don't like the hustle, huh?
You're just going to trot down the first base, man?
You don't care? You could have gotten that ball.
Hanging over the dugout. Yeah.
I remember I went to the World Series on mushrooms. I went and saw the Dodgers on mushrooms. And Puig just tries to overact like he has a simple catch, but he overacts it and drops it. Imagine if I went in the back going, yo, man, why you putting on theatrics for
hands,
everybody?
bro. Two
Just
hands.
grab the ball, dog.
Yeah.
Like, how quickly would I get punched in the face by Puig? So he's in the back, and he goes...
By himself, he comes back.
No, he comes back with one security guard from the Comedy Store.
Okay.
So he comes in the back with one security guard. And he comes, and and I can't tell if he's joking, because there's something about at the Comedy Store and with comedians that people want to act like they're as funny. Have you ever seen that? Like, it almost becomes in the hecklers, right? When you do, like, you could break down why men and women each heckle. One of the reasons men heckle is because their girlfriend's laughing really hard and they're not enjoying it, or they want to be a comedian, like they're the funny guy in their group and they want to be a comedian, so they think in a weird way they're performing. So I get that a lot, where like people talk shit, you're like, okay, I get it, dude. This is your moment. So I thought maybe that was it, but I started to realize it wasn't that, and he's literally getting in my face about a joke, and I figured it was the Wigger joke. So
I just assumed. You just guessing here, huh? Shot in the dark. That's the one he's upset about.
So he's in my face. He's like, you look like you talk shit. I go, I talk a ton of fucking shit. And then they break it up. I'm like, so I go right on stage and talking about how Machine Gun Kelly got in my face because I talk shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to talk about how you look like a Hot Topic scarecrow, right? So I do that joke. He's in the back shit talking me to all my friends. And they're like, and everyone knows he's the GM's guest. So, like, I'm a crazy person, dude, but I'm not an asshole. Like, I'm crazy, but I will always be respectful. I'm a respectful guy. So I know he's the guest, the GM, and I'm thankful that the Comedy Store lets me do my show there. I really enjoy doing Comedy Chaos. We've been doing it for like 8 years. It's a blessing. I'm going to show respect, okay? I'm not going to clock this motherfucker. So he goes in the back. I walk. He talks shit on the way out. I let him go. Okay, bro. Okay. Let him go. It's Richie's friend. He goes in the back. Somebody must have told him that I lit him up on stage.
Who's back there ratting?
No, his buddies were there.
His buddies.
So now he comes back again.
He's doing an encore.
Yeah. Now he comes
got
back
an encore from
again.
What happens now?
He comes in the back.
And is he with security this time? Or
no, but now he's got his crew. And it looks like everybody from Savage Garden. That's the... It looks like the guys from Savage Garden. I go, this is what your backup is? 90s pop rock? That's what you're bringing back here? So he gets in my face. He goes, why are you talking shit? I go, because you're getting in my face and you don't know where you are Who are you, bro? I mean, I know who you are, but why do you think you have any kind of cachet here, dude? You got nothing. And that's when my friends start to circle. Everybody starts to circle. And Richie's in the back, okay. And I'm like, dude, if I would have swung on this guy, I could probably sell 20 more tickets in Baton Rouge.
20 more in Baton Rouge.
I could have sold 20 more tickets.
You lose your Cleveland fan base, baby.
Yeah. Can't go back to Cleveland, but I can crush it everywhere else.
It is wild. It's wild to think that because you're someone in your lane that you can step out of that lane and go. I'm sure there was a powerful attorney might have been sitting in that all. Top doctor, surgeon in the city didn't get up and come back like, do you know who the fuck I am in my world?
Back.
And let me tell you, hell no.
And he's a beanpole, bro.
No.
He's like tall and skinny. And listen, I have none but love, dog. I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I will fight if we have to. And I don't want to. But man, I was like, dude, if I swing on this guy, I'm a fucking legend. But then I love the GM. And like, I'll never do anything to disrespect the Shores at the Comedy Store. So he goes back in again. I leave this one. I go, I don't want to cause any problems. Like, everyone's having a great time. So he's about to leave, right? And then he walks right up to me again. And everybody's getting uncomfortable. And the Comedy Store is like, come on, let's take a picture. Let's take a picture. I'm like, fuck. So he starts doing this like flip you off thing. And I'm like, okay, I'll do the flip you off thing as well. So they take a picture of it. It gets put on the internet. Now all my conspiracy fans hate me because they think I've sold my soul to the dark arts because that's what they think it. And now I have to put out this fire and now I'm putting out that fire.
Fires.
I'm like, I don't really have anything against, he doesn't resonate with me at all. I don't hate him. I don't wish him ill will. And that was right when his wife booted him to the curb, Fox, because he found out he had been cheating. So he's going through a rough week. If you would came up going, hey, dude, I'm having a rough week. I got ladies problems. Like, sit down. Tell me about it, bro. But instead, you're like in my face. So we took this picture and let go, and that's it. And then it was so funny because all these content creators started telling their version of the story, and none of it was real. So I got to listen to people like, and then I met him in the kitchen. I started throwing forks at him. I got sources everywhere. They say Sam went in blackface and got like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I can't wait to do your show next week, dude.
Oh, dude, it's the best.
I can't wait.
So I am, I don't do drugs anymore. Like I said, for 2.5 years, I've been very blessed. I stopped doing drugs. But I have drug tendencies. Like I'm very afraid of cops still. Mm-hmm. So I still drive down like weird places, right? Like I won't take a regular street. I'll do side streets where I know cops aren't just so I don't see a cop. I see. Right. So like a lot of times when I left the Comedy Store, I would go the long way around to get to where I live when I lived in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Hand to God, I'm driving down the side street and I stop and I look up and there's a buck naked, hot blonde from about 1 block away. And she's super tall. But you could tell from where I am, that's an attractive woman. And she is buck naked. And I'm like, what is happening here, right? So I'm like, I got to see what's going on. So I drive up. I roll up. And she turns around and her dick just starts flapping.
I was going to say, are we sure this is a woman here? I was about to ask you.
So she got this tiny pecker with these long balls, right? She got these click-clacks, bro. She got click-clacks.
She got truck nuts.
She got truck nuts.
She's got a little dick and truck nuts.
So I'm like, what the fuck? And then I start getting fatherly.
You know, rolling. What's your pronoun?
No, dude.
What the hell's he doing right now?
I wrote down. I start going, oh, somebody's going through something right now.
Or running from something, or anything.
So I roll down my window. I'm like, what are you doing? I start getting fatherly with a naked trans hooker right there on this side street. I go, what are you doing? I go, you don't have to do this. You don't have to do this. You're better than this. You're a connection. I start getting spiritual with this naked trans hooker, telling her about how we all have Christ consciousness. We're all connected. We're all here to do a higher thing. She's like, yeah. I'm like, come on. So I go, how about this? I'll give you $50 if you put your clothes back on. She's like, really? So she runs over. She puts her clothes back on. I'm like, good. You're doing great. Suddenly this fat hooker comes up and she goes, will you give me $50 to put my clothes back on? I go, get
was
away,
she naked
demon.
too?
No, she wasn't. But she was chunky.
She was threatening, huh? She was threatening to take him off. Will you give me 50 to keep my shit on? Here's 200. Please leave.
Don't burn my eyes.
What's your Venmo?
Let me cash app you.
Oh, man.
So this trans hooker goes to her tent, puts her clothes back on. I go, here's $50. Don't you feel bad? She's like, yeah. And now I start feeling like I'm vibrating on a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm like, I've done something called abundance. I practice everything. So every day I write down goals. I think it's very important to manifest, right?
I
write
journal
down
every day and night.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I write down what I'm thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it in 3, 6, 9, which is, the Tesla's numbers of the universe. So I do 9 things I'm thankful for. Sometimes I write down the same shit over and over again, but I do write it down. And then I do 9 goals for the day. And then I'll do, like, if I have time, I'll do 27 life goals. If I have time, I'll do 9, 6 intermediate goals and 27 life goals. And you'd be amazed, man, how many of those things you end up hitting.
Yeah.
Like, it's mind blowing. It's just this thing. It's manifestation. Then the other thing is abundance. So I think we live in this world of scarcity where they try to teach you that there's only so much here. There's only so many days you're going to live. There's only so much money. You got to save your money. I think you give it away. I think you do. Like, if you're in fear, you go out, you give 20s to people. And it's amazing how money shows up. So I just gave this naked trans hooker $50 to put her clothes back on. I'm like, you know what? I feel good about myself. Suddenly I hear a little voice going, she's buck naked again. I go, no way. We had a deal. She would never violate our deal.
Yeah, we're friends.
We're friends. I gave her $50. She would never do that. The voice goes, oh, she's buck naked. I go, no, she's not. I guarantee it. He goes, why don't you go look? I turn around, I come back. She's in the middle of the street, buck naked, doing fucking naked helicopters right in the middle of the ring, just where she's like rolling. I roll up on her. I go, I thought we had a deal. She goes, girls gone wild. And that's, I deal with that stuff all the time. So.
Oh, God.
Do we have time for?
Yeah, I want to hear about this. Were you going to say about what you tried to stop?
Oh, yeah. So I have 2 dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you have a dog in the other room, and we love our dogs. But when you live in LA, you have to get your dog these high-end dog food. You can't give them the kibbles in bed. You got to get them, like, I don't know what makes it high food, but you got to get high-end dog food. And the only place that sold the dog food that my dogs would eat is Gelson's.
Okay.
Right. So,
which, by the way, if people don't know Gelson's, it is like it's the OCD grocery store. Every label's out. It's expensive though. You pay for that.
Except where my new one, it's ghetto Gelson's.
Oh, really?
It is ghetto.
Oh man, that's
shit.
not normal at all.
That
for
isn't
Gelson's.
normal.
Yeah.
You walk in, your life's
Gelson's
in danger.
Is pristine. Yeah, that's not normal at all.
Over there, there's 2 chicks fighting like it's some Instagram fight, dude. Security is, by the way, security is just an illusion.
Yeah, they're
this
not doing
chick was
anything.
going off on the employees, and the old security guard was just like, "Don't do that. Stop it." Nobody's stopping this chick. Anyway, so I have to go to Gelson's. I go in, I grab my cans of food. I get my car and I back out because I'm a human being. I'm not one of these narcissist piece of shits who 3-point turns back into, there's nobody drives me more nuts than people who reverse back into a parking spot. They make you wait. There's like a special place in hell. It's them and the people who can't wait their turn to get off of the plane. Have you ever seen those people?
Every flight I'm on.
It's driving me nuts.
Every flight I'm on. And these days, because of my back, I'm sitting in first class and there's people still running up. They run up. They run up because they know no one's going to fight them or say anything. And they're already at their destination. So what are you going to do? Throw me off first? Great. I'm out first anyway. It's wild to me.
There's no rules.
It's wild to me.
There's no honor anymore.
If they just said there is no standing allowed in the aisles, then people would stop.
They should do that.
They don't do it.
Because it's ridiculous.
It is crazy.
So there's a special place in hell for those two people. So I drive up. And I get my car, I reverse back in. I'm about to take off. Suddenly, this cop car flies up, and these two cops get out, and they grab this green gun. And I go, "What social justice warrior thing's going on that you got a Nerf gun? You got a Nerf green gun?" And of course, I'm a comic, so I have to see what's going on. So I pull up, and this is going on in Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
So I pull up, and it's this guy walking back. And this avalanche of cops got guns on him, marching him down Franklin. This is happening
in the middle of the street?
In the middle of the street,
Damn.
dude. And it's happening right in front of the Scientology Celebrity Center.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to that?
I've never been in, but I know I used to go to Cafe 101 all the time.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
where all the weird stuff happens.
Yeah.
It's just a giant castle, by the way. For people who are trying to convince you that they're not a cult, that's the worst building you could have, by the way. So it's happening right there. And it's literally, when I tell you it had to be 30 cops with guns marching this dude down. One dude.
Hands up.
He has something in his hand.
Okay,
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
So I'm literally like, dude, I got to stop this. I got to save this guy from getting shot. Because if he gets shot, I'm not going to be able to feed my dogs, right? They're going to shut everything down.
It's not about the trauma of seeing that guy get shot over and over in your mind forever. It's my dog's gotta eat, man.
Yeah, my dog's gotta eat, dude. So, hand to God, I become what every black comics makes fun of white people about, where we run to danger.
Mm-hmm.
Hand to God, dude. I hit the gas. I drive around the cops. They're like, hey. I drive around and I get right next to this dude. And I roll down my window and I'm like, you gotta get down, bro. Get down. And suddenly I hear it from the side. Hey, get out of there. I look over. Freaking bike cops are coming at me. I'm like, hey, fake cops, get out of here. When you get a car, come talk to me.
Yeah.
Until then, get rid of your big wheel, okay? And then I'm like, dude, you got to get down. I look up. He's filming himself, by the way, which is a strike one in my book. I don't know what you did to this. This is even worse than filming yourself. And then I look up. Now all the guns are pointed to me. And I'm like, okay, now I'm going to get shot. And you don't want to be a white guy who gets shot. You don't want anybody to get shot.
No.
You don't want a black person get shot, because when a black person gets shot, city burns, legislation changes, white chicks start slinging pussy, right? But when a white guy gets shot, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Also, what a way to go out. That'd be horrible. Getting
Helping
lit up
people?
by. No, I'm saying just being the actual cause of death, being lit up by 30 angry cops who are just.
This guy's like a
popping
co-hanger.
off.
I'm like, get whatever it is, just give it up, bro. And he's like, shut up. And I'm like,
He's telling you to shut up and you're out there helping us.
I'm on your side, bro. Put down the co-hanger. I've never seen that many cops in my life.
So what did you do then?
I took off.
They didn't fire or yell or
no,
anything?
dude,
Nothing.
I kept listening to the news to see if something happened, because I was going to go back and be the witness and give out my Instagram handle so everybody could follow me.
Follow me.
And that was it, dude.
Oh, dude, I really enjoy talking to you, man. Thank you for coming and doing this today.
I got it, dude.
I'm proud of you. You're a dad, and sound like you're a good dad, and you want to be a good dad. That is the most important thing.
I'm a crazy person, but I'm trying. I love my kids.
Love your kids. Be there for them. Support the stuff they want you to support. Even if you have to fake it till you make it. Act like you love it. That's all they care about.
I have a saying, and that is, bills are paid, kids are happy, life is good.
Bingo.
That's it.
Promote everything one more time, please.
I am samtripoli.com. Get all my dates there. You can watch. I have 8 podcasts, and I think I set the record. And you can get them all at samtripoli.com. And if you want to hear, every week I just go out and lay my life on the line to see what the craziest shit I could find is. And then I talk about Unbroken Sim. And if you like some of these stories, this is what I do every week. Go to find Broken Simulation, Tinfoil Hat, Conspiracy Social Club, Union of the Unwanted. They're all there. And I do hours and hours. And then if you really want, I have premium content that I do on rockfin.com. That's rockfin.com. And I have 3 shows on there, and I do 3 episodes a week on the Tinfoil Hat show. I do a AMA. Then I do, we break down old footage, old shows, all that stuff. And then I do an interview. So you get 3 episodes a week on rockfin.com.
There it is. Thank you, brother.
I love you, buddy.
You're
doing
you too.
So great. And I love you so much. You're one of the G's. It's good to see you doing wonderful shit.
You too, brother. And I'm looking forward to your show next week. As always, RyanSickler.com, Ryan Sickler on all social media. Go get your tickets. Come see me on tour, RyanSickler.com. We'll talk to y'all next week.